Come on back into another episode of Game Runs Deep. I'm Sudu. He's Ben, and we are back after a thrilling Week 10 of college football, one that included another coach being let go and receiving what we think is a hefty buyout. But, Ben, some people are saying Freeze might have negotiated a lower buyout that he's not. I don't know what the truth really is, but first of all, man, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Halloween was fun. Great weekend. Obviously, Ole Miss winning 30-14 was huge for the continued playoff push. 3 more games left. The Citadel this week. So, if you're an Ole Miss fan, tune into Game Runs Deep today to listen to stupid old Ben Garrett of the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate on 37 for $1. You're going to probably hear, just like from me and from most people in regards to Ole Miss this week, because it is the Citadel, a lot of Lane Kiffin stuff. So, yeah, man, it's the coaching carousel continues to churn in an unprecedented way. We all kind of expected this to happen to Freeze. He outlasted Brian Kelly. He outlasted, pick your coach, Sam Pittman. And honestly, he was one of the coaches on the hottest seats coming in. And the bottom line is, I mean, Hugh Freeze's reputation is that of an offensive guy, and it was a wrap when he lost 10-3 to Kentucky on Saturday with backup quarterbacks instead of the one he handpicked out of the portal, Jackson Arnold. So you hate to see guys lose their jobs, or people lose their jobs in general, especially in this climate. But also, it's hard to feel bad for coaches. The man's got a $15.3 million buyout, and yes, I've heard some of that from like other schools too. You know, you've heard this weird propaganda type of line. It came from LSU to start. It's like, hey, well, it might not be $53 million because so-and-so, sneaky super billionaire who just showed up on the scene is going to pay it off. And then the governor comes out and say, no, we have a $53 million liability. And the cost of doing business and making these moves has never been more expensive. I would be shocked. This is the same Hugh Freeze who willingly gave up $20 million to Ole Miss when they fired him due to all the NCAA and we know the other stuff. I'm not.
I don't know how willingly.
I'm not. Well, like he did because he knew he was in the wrong. Like it wasn't a fight worth having.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he gave up another $15 million or even a portion of that, what is what is going to be. I wouldn't be shocked if he get like a G6, but this is his last big time coaching opportunity, and it's the end of an era for a lot of Ole Miss people for sure, just because just 3 years ago Auburn fans were trying to convince themselves that Hugh Freeze was a better hire than Lane Kiffin even. So it got to, unfortunately, it's an inevitable place, it seems like, at a job that, man, Auburn fans, you talk about insane expectations considering operationally where they're at. Auburn's about as in a weird place as anybody, and they always are. So, man, a big weekend, and another coach falls. I think that's 4 straight Sundays in which a notable head coach has been let go on what has turned out to be a bloody Sunday. So the Sunday scaries are alive and well in college football for head coaches.
No doubt about it. Hey, you mentioned Halloween real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, can you tell me what you're dressed up as for Halloween?
Well, first of all, my pumpkin's back here. I got to take my pumpkins down since it's Thanksgiving time.
I forgot about this.
It's Thanksgiving time. I got to get something new. I'm going to send you right now what the true outfit was. It's me, my wonderful grandmother of 93 years, my last living grandparent.
Beautiful.
And my older brother, Daniel. We went to visit her Halloween night. I was dressed as
Wow, we
Ralphie.
got a Daniel appearance, man. What?
Yeah, and I was dressed as Ralphie from A Christmas Story. And
are you wearing UGG boots?
Yeah, because they're house shoes. They're house shoes. House
no,
shoes.
I'm not. I love it. I think Uggs are very comfortable. I'm just excited. Didn't take you as a Uggs guy.
I didn't have any like rabbit slippers like Ralphie did, but I just went with my with my lounge around shoes that my wife got me for Christmas one year, which I never thought I'd be an Uggs guy, but yeah, like the Uggs are amazing, right? Like they're so comfortable and warm.
His older brother Daniel, does he? What's
Daniel's
his deal?
just dressed as
like
Daniel.
A finance man, or
Daniel's just dressed as Daniel. He's that 40 years old. We're past this. Me, I'm not. I understand the assignment. It was funny though. This is what happened to me Halloween night. All right.
I love it, man. I'm glad you're still able to do that, and obviously you have 2 daughters.
But this is what grinds my gears. All
right,
guy,
here we go.
So Halloween night, my wife, who is perfect, I love her. She gets a text or earlier in the day from a friend of hers saying, "Hey, we're gonna have some families over for Halloween." So I dress the part. We're going to a Halloween party at a friend's house, best of my understanding. I get there. There are no other men there, no other grown men. She has an older daughter who is essentially having like a teenager high school party, like a bonfire and thing. And like, imagine your friend, stupid friend Ben, barreling in dressed as a bunny. And they're like, "What are you, Piglet?" One girl asked that. I said, "Are you Piglet?" You know how I know we're old? They didn't know who Ralphie was. Like, "No, I'm Ralphie from A Christmas Story." I don't know what that is. Oh, that's okay.
To be fair, when you sent me that, I was like, who are you supposed to be? Like, my mind went to Donnie Darko, and the rabbit in Donnie Darko is not even pink, right? Am I tripping?
I've never seen Donnie Darko. That's the truth.
What, dude?
Look, but I've seen A Christmas Carol all the time, and like I thought that was a well-known thing, especially since like TBS runs it on a loop for 24.
I think it's because you're kind of like intertwining two holidays. Maybe people's minds just didn't go to Christmas.
Or we're just that old that like Ralphie is slowly and slower dying out. Because like my daughters only know it's daddy's stupid pink bunny costume. So I decided to leave. My wife's going to stay. She's got a couple of her friends and then all those girls. And I felt like, man, Molly's oldest daughter does not want this idiot at her fun high school party. Like I've been there. They were like dressed as like culturally relevant things. Like Malls' oldest daughter was dressed as one of the robbers of the Louvre heist recently. I'm like, oh, that was
a popular one. Yes,
that's topical. Meanwhile, I'm dressed as Ralphie from A Christmas Story. Well, I didn't have a change of clothes. I decided to leave. We're right close to Ripley. A couple of my friends were at Biscuits in Ripley. Awesome steakhouse. Hit the road. I tell them, listen, guys, I brought some beer because I was going to drink it. And so I'm just going to drink it with y'all at the restaurant. I walked into this place and it was packed out, and the only other person was a girl dressed up as Daisy Duck. And we high-fived, and I got to meet the waiter, Candy, who thought I was just delightful. She brought me 5 silver bullets. Me and my boy Flip on the ride back home because obviously I can't drive. We're singing Broadway songs on back roads in Ripley to go pick up my wife and my children, and the whole time dressed as a pink bunny, like Ralphie in A Christmas Story. And unfortunately, I had a great time, but I didn't realize that Ralphie had fallen out of the social consciousness so quickly. How devastating. I guess I needed to carry my Red Ryder BB gun, Sue.
That would have sold it. That might have sold it. Maybe some broken glasses or something. But
I just look like the great Hambino wearing a pink bunny costume. But I had the glasses. I thought that put it over the top. No, apparently it didn't.
I appreciated it, man.
So now help me figure out, people. Game runs deep, Sudu, all of you. What do I put for Thanksgiving? Because I just want to go ahead and put the Christmas lights up. My wife and kids have already said the tree.
Get a little cornucopia or something.
But the Christmas tree's already gone up. Like my family.
Are you serious?
Yes. You come tell that sweet baby right there who's been waiting all year, Riley Garrett, that she wants to, and she's been wanting to put up a tree. I don't want to put up a tree on November 1st, but
I'm with you.
Oh, I'm sorry that you're a thief of joy, that you care about arbitrary bullshit deadlines. My baby girl, little Buggies, said, "Daddy, we're putting up the tree on November 1st, right?" Sure, baby. I don't care. Of course we will.
I respect it. I'm not arguing with Riley on that one.
So
I think
what do
my
I
point
put
is
back here? Lights or
get a turkey. I don't know. I mean,
I'm trying to do a Woody Page for the game runs deep, and City just has no enthusiasm. Moving on.
Hang up some turkeys, dude. But no, I don't appreciate how Thanksgiving doesn't get enough love. It's a great holiday. You get to eat a bunch of food. You get to argue with family that you haven't seen in a whole year, and you get to watch football. I mean, that's a pretty good
deal.
You get
football like 5 out of 7 days of the week now.
No, I know, but Thanksgiving football is different. It's always fun to watch your Cowboys lose. Maybe that's why you don't like. Maybe that's why you don't like Thanksgiving.
It's not fun. Well, I remember watching at my uncle's house Drew Henson start for the Cowboys and win a Thanksgiving game years and years ago. I have watched the Cowboys are my team of teams, and I have watched them my entire life. I love that they play on Thanksgiving because that's all I know. Thanksgiving is just a gluttonous holiday to get us through November as everybody's waiting for Christmas break. That's just what it is, okay? You can be thankful. You can eat good, one good meal, and then it's kind of over. Like the season itself is how it's like winter time. It's fall time now, right? Yeah. So that's why Thanksgiving doesn't get its shine. I'm just saying let people live and like what they like. If they want to start celebrating Christmas, ain't your house.
I like Thanksgiving because to me, when it ends, it officially signals.
Now you can get in the Christmas spirit.
Start of Christmas, and that's when the tree goes up in my house. Is on
all year round. All year round, you're supposed to maintain like Scrooge, like the Ghost of Christmas present or future or past said to Scrooge. You're to enjoy it all year round, to treat it as if it is Christmas season all year round. Be equitable and fair and good. So I'm sorry, I tried to go all out for Halloween and failed spectacularly. So Thanksgiving, probably going to get the short end of the stick here in the Riverland Roofing New Albany branch studio.
Hey, I'll appreciate whatever you do, Benny, and I love the costume. Now,
thank you, friend.
Let's get back into the sports side of things. We just mentioned Hugh Freeze. One of the funnier things that I've seen on social media, this account Nathan Deal, Natty D13. He tweeted out, "Well, folks, the Hugh Freeze error is over, and Auburn is looking for a new coach. Not error. For a new coach. However, we got to do some call-outs before we collectively move on. Auburn Twitter has been tense lately, so I felt like it was important to craft the doesn't know ball list thread." And then, dude, this man just goes on an absolute rampage. Just to clarify, the purpose of this list isn't just to point out that some people were wrong about the Freeze hire. The purpose is to shout out specific people. If you are an Auburn fan, you can ignore forever. That being said, it's listing time. And then he categorizes by media figures. Categorizes by fans who told Freeze critics they're woke or made things political. He categorizes by, that's just 2 tweets alone. Name callers, those who made it personal, and insulter hurlers. That was 2 tweets. Misogynists who dismissed woman AU fans or told them to learn to cook or suck it was a whole nother category. I mean, dude, this thing goes on for... There's multiple tweets of just... And it's just a level of petty that I love, and this is what Twitter is for. Twitter is somewhat, degraded a bit over the years, in my opinion. But it's tweets like this, threads like this that brings back old Twitter memories to me. But just shout out. Some people that I follow and listen, like the Crane brothers, Jake and Blake, he called them out for calling people woke, I guess, which I was not in tune with that entire process. There's just so many names on here, and it's like this guy for 3 years, Ben, has been keeping a list.
I love that. And here's the thing. If you're gonna go petty, go all the way. And that's what Twitter was made for. Keep your receipts. And if you're standing on truth, at the end of the day, they gotta defend the lie. The funniest part of this is all of the people he tagged untagging themselves. You're telling yourself, you have to lean into the joke. You have to lean into it. You have to accept it. You have to go, yeah, I did. I said some stupid stuff. Everyone's keeping receipts these days. Yeah. So when you get caught out that way, you look like the kid who just takes his ball and goes home when you untag yourself. Just own it. People are going to talk their stuff. And in this business, in this culture, in this environment we live in now, the only thing everything is wrestling. The only time you're not the only time it's bad is when you walk out for your entrance and you hear silence. It don't matter if it's boos. It don't matter if it's cheers, man. If everything is wrestling, as long as you've got people paying attention to and listening and appreciating, or at least taking seriously what you have to say, you're doing the right thing. And you're going to get checked. When you get checked, just eat your shit. This is a good... Tag yourself.
This is worth pointing out, too. And these 2 fellas have not untagged themselves. There's a category, he says, OnlyFans model reply guys hoping to get her attention or get sent nudes. So there's 2 people tagged on that.
Yep. Oh, boy.
Oh, phenomenal job, Nathan Deal, man. You're hilarious. That was one of the joys of the weekend for me, was seeing that.
Because he'd been loading that chamber for long.
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of had my moment, too, Ben, and not to pile on Hugh, but... I saw that.
Well, let me pile on him.
But I got something to say. Like you said, this is wrestling. Let me cut a promo, right?
Cut a promo on him.
Brooks Austin, who does a great job breaking down film on YouTube and all that, tweeted about how Hugh Freeze is the only SEC football coach that he's seen at the media bar at SEC Media Days drinking with local reporters. And I went back and pulled up a clip of Freeze's game day feature from 2012 or 2013, where Gene Wojciechowski, I believe it was like, you don't drink. You don't cuss. He shakes his head, which is, come on. You don't drink. Shakes his head. Come on. He goes, what are your vices? Freeze proceeds to talk about a little bit of chewing tobacco when I'm watching film and get a little tired. Bazooka Joe bubblegum and Big Red. And I'm just like, come on, dog. Come on, Hugh. And so I had to put that out there because I've been holding on to that for a couple years too. And
he used to go to Funky's with Lee and them, which is my favorite bar in Oxford. It's still the place that still feels the most like Oxford to me. And he would drink out of a red Solo cup because he didn't want people to judge him.
Brother, the back room of
no one cares if you want to drink a beer, but the all shucks stuff is part of what led to what we're at today.
This is why a lot of people
lack of originality and this lack of or just not originality. He's original.
It's just disingenuous.
Disingenuous.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's why a lot of people went from really, really, really loving Hugh Freeze and being able to be like, well, everybody has faults, to like, yeah, we don't really like you because you just straight up lie. And you talk about Funkies. I mean, I used to hear about when I was in school about like is it Grill House? Is that the really nice spot that I'm thinking of? Right,
Oxford Grill House.
The back of Grill House, and talking about bottles and all this stuff. And people tell me Hugh would be there, and I'm like, Hugh doesn't drink. They're like, you're so silly. Come on, are you serious? You believe that? So
look, man. I talked to him at media days. He was looking pretty rough. He really was. I know he's dealing with some health stuff, and he's supposed to have a surgery in January. God bless him, and all the best to him. I mean, we all do dumb stuff, and we don't have the same kind of spotlight. I think he's honestly tried to be better, and he's tried to be a better version of himself. But the bill comes due for everybody.
Yep.
And while Auburn I thought was a good fit for Hugh, ultimately, the offense, which was his calling card, basketball on grass. Remember that opening press conference?
Oh yeah.
Ultimately,
and to be fair, 2012. Parts of 2014 and 2015 were awesome, and I always give him credit for that. He showed people that you can win at a high level here. He just didn't have the discipline, the ego check, all these different things it takes to be able to balance, and the ability to like let other people do their jobs and not get credit for it. That didn't seem to exist in him. That among many reasons for his downfall, but I do give him credit for some.
I think his fatal flaw is that, and a lot of us deal with it. I used to deal with it a lot, and then recently that thing happened with me at work, and man, Ole Miss fans rallied, like the self-hate and being so quick to be defensive and emotional and think everybody's out to get you. You can't be so vain to think everybody likes you. And I think Hugh dealt with that most of all of his time at Ole Miss. He was more worried about people recognizing that he was friends with Danica Patrick and Ricky Steenhouse. It was, but I think he grew out of that a little bit. But in the world of college football in 2016, now in 2025, are completely different. And he ultimately was done in not by behavior, because I really think he tried to improve himself. I think he came a long way. And again, praying for him as he goes through all this stuff. Was so gracious and nice at SEC Media. It was good to see him, like seeing an old friend. But just like when you see an old friend goes, hey, remember when you did that stupid thing? Yeah. Same kind of deal. And it sucks when he loses the job. But again, it's hard to feel bad for coaches because, listen, man, I would retire for the rest of my life.
Hey, we know what Ben's doing with $15 million.
$15 million. I'm out of here.
He's out of here.
I'm out of here. I'll do the game runs deep. Outside of that, I'm good on this. You know what I mean? I'm out of here. I'm going to go enjoy life. And I know that Freeze, he'll bounce back somewhere. He's a ball coach. And as much as we say, why are you not just taking the money to all these guys? They have an insatiable appetite for it. So he'll be back in some way, I figure, as an offensive coordinator. But the problem is his resume took a real hit, especially this year. And he was fired not because of anything other than his offense. And when it was about ball and when it became just about ball and Freeze, the old ways of the way he did things and not really adapting his offense or his style ultimately did him in. So best wishes to him. Auburn's a fascinating place as far as the next hire. You're going to see on every coaching hot list, be it an on 3, anywhere, wherever you get this stuff. Pete Nakos, I think, does a great job, but like every list looks the same. It's John Sumrall. It's Alex Golish.
Yeah,
Alex Golish. Pick your guy. I think Auburn. If you made me handicap it right now, I think LSU is like barreling towards Kelvin Shepherd as their next head coach. I think that's where that's heading. Florida, it's Lane or bust right now, completely. I mean, they don't even know what they want. I think Eli Drinkwitz is really the second option, if not 1B. but they're going to go all out for Lane and make Lane tell them no definitively. If Ole Miss keeps winning games as it did on Saturday, 30-14 over South Carolina, it's going to force Lane's hand to come out and say something definitively one way or the other, because Ole Miss is dealing with the same limited pool and time frame, and like a guy like John Sumrall, he's not going to be on the board fast. He's not going to be. He's going to get scooped up pretty quick. Because
also, you think Sumrall the last couple of weeks is any
that
indication?
man's on the way out.
Okay,
he's moving on up. That's what it is. Like,
all right.
The Tulane, he did his work at Tulane. He's moving on up. The Sam Houston, not Sam Houston State, UTSA loss was a clear representation of that.
Yeah. Did he bench Retzlaff? I didn't get to watch that game.
I didn't watch much of it, but it was typical. It was like when pick your time.
When Freeze was leaving Liberty, I saw somebody tweet out the exact losses correlating with when Freeze was announced as the coach. I mean, it happens. I will say, let me say this, and I was going to kind of wait to get into Ole Miss, and we will a little bit later, because I do want to talk about some of these openings and which are the best ones, but you got to give Lane a lot of credit right now with how Ole Miss is playing, right? Because we all, Ole Miss people, I say we go back to 2022 and just how painful it was and just the collapse that it was. And I think everybody has that PTSD, and we're all on the edge. Even right now with Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State left, everybody's still probably a little bit like, I don't know.
Not this week. This week it's just like, okay.
Yeah, this week it's like, let's breathe a little. But you still got to finish out with, 2 conference games, a Florida team that we've been worried about all season long, and you just never know in the Egg Bowl, right? But I will say, props.
Penn State got that win, Sudu.
Yes, they did.
They got that SEC win. It doesn't set up the most predictable We Are Ole Miss ending ever to have a one-loss Ole Miss get their playoff hopes spoiled by the in-state rival getting their first SEC win in 2 years, 20 tries, the last 20 tries. Good for State, and they had to come back. And Arkansas, man, I feel for Arkansas fans today, because they really aren't that far off from being – I mean, they are competitive. They just keep losing. Bobby Petrino is not going to be the head coach there. Jeff Lebby is going to use that win, that one SEC win for Mississippi State, and, man, I already know he's going after Oklahoma State. There's some stuff like that that's going on. But this carousel, like John Sumrall is going to probably be one of the very first dominoes. And for Ole Miss, that's problematic, because he would be one of the very first candidates they're going to want to talk to.
He would be.
Or, vetted through back channels and gauged interest. I mean, that was their former linebacker coach, yes. But – I mean, he is quite literally, he'll tell you, copied operationally Lane Kiffin at the G6 level, both through transfer portal recruiting, how they go about that and approach that, and also with the way he trolls on Twitter. It would be just such a seamless fit, and also keep some continuity as far as coaching staff and stuff like that to keep all the recruiting and transfer pieces together.
Yeah.
That timeline is what I'm focused on. And Lane, it's fine.
Well,
let me
finish the point here with Lane, and I want to call out some guy on YouTube that said that I was interrupting Ben too much. Buddy, that's how we work. This is how Ben and I work. If you listen to our podcast,
me, buddy.
He's going to talk over me and interrupt me. I'm going to talk over him. If you don't like it, don't listen, because Ben's like my older brother.
Keep listening. We'll kind of try
don't.
To be better.
I really don't care personally.
Dude, shut up.
That bothers me, because that dude's not an OG Spirit guy. You remember when people used to call you out because they used to say that, Ben, you're just bullying Sudu. You're steamrolling him on the old podcast? I texted you when I saw that comment, and I went, Ben, it's a new day. I think I made it. People think that I'm now steamrolling you.
I have never been accused of being the interruptee, okay? I've always been the interrupter. So I'm going to, finish your point and keep listening. It's not a big deal. Sudu just takes things a little personally. It's all good.
No, I'm not taking it personally.
He ain't old enough yet.
He ain't a day one. He ain't a day one. That's all I'm saying. My point is, I just wanted to thank Lane. But that's really what it is. For keeping the eyes on the mission, for being focused, just the way he's handling everything. I don't know if the man's staying, okay? I don't. And I don't know if you do, and I don't know if most people do. Even the most connected people I talk to don't seem to know.
I'll wait for you to ask me that question specifically instead of interrupting you constantly.
Okay. Before we get to that, though, I just want to thank you, Lane. No matter if you're staying or leaving, you've got this team focused. You beat Oklahoma. You beat South Carolina.
Handily.
3 games left. Please just continue doing whatever the hell it is you're doing. And not only is it just him that seems to be dialed in and focused and talking about the mission ahead, but his guys. I mean, the way that his players are playing. Of course, Ole Miss has tons of deficiencies we talk about on a weekly basis, but But the focus seems to be there, and that intensity and that chase for that goal, which is the playoff, seems to be there. And I think it's just worth giving them credit, no matter what happens. All right, Ben, is Lane going to stay or leave?
Come on, I don't know. No one knows. That's the beauty of it.
That's what I just said.
As of today, it's either, in my opinion, an Ole Miss extension or Florida. Yeah. I don't think LSU's involved in this. I think
Jeff Landry has done a great job. Let me just say how much I appreciate Jeff Landry. He should be governor forever.
Torpedo this process for them. But also, I hope they succeed, LSU, in how they restructure. If they do get away with significantly restructuring contracts, because coaches' contract reform is needed, and not just at LSU because they paid out a stupid contract to Brian Kelly and also Jimbo Fisher. I'm talking about, like, it's so overwhelmingly, no matter which person it is, Lane Kiffin or Ole Miss, or pick your coach, it's so overwhelmingly slanted to the coach's side because
it's funny to me because it was the same week you literally said to me, you're like, that bubble is bursting very soon. He's like, I don't think you said very soon. You said it's going to burst. It may not be soon, but it's going to happen. These coaches are not going to get away with these buyouts anymore. And the same week, Jeff Landry came out. So I guess you've been in touch with Jeff Landry, man. Guys connected.
Or my job is quite literally to know this stuff. I don't know much of anything else. All right, That's why. I don't presume to know whether or not Lane is staying or going. Honestly, you're not going to hear anything for another few weeks, if anything. Yeah. But reading the tea leaves today, like, Auburn was a serious pursuit 3 years ago, but he's not going to Auburn. I think Florida's a legitimate threat. I think Florida wants him that desperately. And I think that, there are a lot of connectors there, more specifically unique to the Lane than there are at other jobs. But Ole Miss has had on the table an extension for weeks. I mean, there's nothing he's going, well, that doesn't look right. Well, what do you need? This. Okay. And that's what they give him. It doesn't matter if it's coach's salary.
And there's no shot that behind the scenes it's already a done deal and that they're just dragging this along potentially to play chess with other programs. Like, that's not – what do you think about that possibility?
I think Lane's just deliberately keeping his options open. It'd be like if, I got approached by my place of work and they said, Ben, we love you, man. You're doing great work. We want you to sign here. But then I'd already been approached by another company and they said to me, hey, Ben, we might be able to do something even better for you. He's looking out for himself. It might be disheartening, especially as other coaches come out like Dan Lanning or pick your guy, Kurt Singdetti, and say, oh, well, I'm committed to my place. Different strokes for different folks. It ain't that serious because he is going to be honored and thanked and recognized, honored even, for whatever, despite what he ultimately does in a couple of weeks, or if not months. He's going to get that kind of recognition at Ole Miss. So if he keeps doing this and winning and getting Ole Miss to a legitimate national championship chase and right there in the playoff and all those kind of things, Ole Miss is going to be then one of the very best jobs if it does come open. So, like, this is the best place Ole Miss. These are all good problems for Ole Miss.
100%.
Good problems for Ole Miss. But from everything I can tell, Lane is either going to be the extension or Florida, and he's the one that's keeping it open, keeping it available. If you ask me today, I say it's nothing better than a coin flip. I'd still probably put my money on the Ole Miss extension, but if anyone's denying that it's obvious that he is keeping those options open deliberately, then they're deluding themselves. But I am with you. I commend Lane for how he's dealt with it too, as far as the on-the-field performance goes. Because in that building, man, they are walking in lockstep. They don't care. Because honestly, and Lane brought up this point, the players are week to week, month to month, too. I mean, like, you could say, you know what? Sage Ryan wants to come back. He can't. He's out of eligibility. But if you said, Ole Miss fan, you could get Sage Ryan back. No, forget him. We could save the money in the NIL, blah, 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 blah. Right now, it's never been a better time to love Ole Miss football. They are legitimately one of, if not a leading contender for a national championship in 2025-26. Ohio State playing the best anybody. Julian saying, woo,
yeah,
man, it's coming.
Man, talked about it last week, man. I'm telling you, we don't talk about them enough.
Yeah, you're right. I think he's probably the Heisman favorite now. There's some really good teams. Oregon's a team that can get you. Yeah. Texas A&M, I think Ole Miss and Texas A&M are about the same, but give them a lot of credit, man. They're playing well. Ole Miss is right there, and if they keep winning, it's going to be hard for Lane to do anything. But if he does, you're not going to see a John Sumrall Tulane against UTSA for Ole Miss in a playoff chase from Lane because he's kept that as it needs to be, as a professional does, especially professionals that are keeping their options open, as is, a pretty standard and common practice in big business. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know on 3 would say, Ben, pledge your undying loyalty forever. Can't do it. Won't do it. Just like that, it's the same difference for everybody.
Yeah.
Because at the end so it stinks because, man, I'd love for it to happen, for Lane to stay at Ole Miss as long as he wants to, retire here, all those kind of things. I think I agree with Paul Feinbaum, though, who is just salivating over all this stuff because him and Lane, he loves this. But I think he's fair when he was fair when he said yesterday, Lane's got one more move in him. Whenever
could that be the NFL though? I've always said it's going to be the NFL because what else? I get there's tons of college programs.
This year I think it's Florida or Ole Miss extension. That's what I think.
Hey man, don't forget about my Giants now.
That would be interesting if they move on from Brian Daboll, and like I've said that multiple times. I think I said that to you.
It's starting to show up on my Twitter a lot more. The Photoshop picture of Lane in a Giants jacket, and let me tell you, you want to talk about just not feeling the pain of losing Lane as an Ole Miss guy, just to go to your NFL team. And there's tons of Ole Miss fans who are also Giants fans because of Eli or Jackson Dart or whoever.
That's the Ole Miss modern era, like modern era, like that's the Ole Miss NFL team because of Eli and Evan Ingram, both first rounders. We could do this all day.
Where did Charlie Connerly go? Did he go to the Giants?
The Giants,
right?
One of the greatest. Yeah, and I'm proud of you for pulling out Charlie Connerly in the year of our Lord 2025. Awesome. But no, because yes, the Giants, that one makes a lot of sense. I just think right now, and it could change tomorrow because all this stuff changes all the time. I think it's an Ole Miss extension of Florida, and it's nothing better than a coin flip because he's made it that way. He's kept it that way.
Yeah.
But he's done a good job, an incredibly good job of keeping this team playing good football. I thought when South Carolina went in and scored that Lenore Sellers touchdown, it was 7-0. I went, here we go. 2022 redux a little bit. They look lethargic. This team doesn't look focused, and they're just playing. They just had a bad start. It really was that simple.
I was going, are night games bad for us now because we just haven't really played them? The guys aren't what's the deal?
It's wait, all right, so we're bad at 11 a.m. games and now bad at 6 p.m. games.
We got to play that
good football team.
We got to play that 3:30 window or something. It's that's what it was looking like.
They responded and they played well and they really beat up a team that they had Alabama beat. They had them beat.
Yeah,
Alabama is ranked ahead of Ole Miss, and we both love Ty Simpson, a lot of what Alabama has done. But on a neutral site, it's a coin flip, Ole Miss or Alabama.
But this is the week-to-week thing you and I talk about every week, right? And coaches talk about it, whatever, in the SEC. It's always been that way, but it's that way more now than ever. It really is week-to-week. Florida getting the win over Texas seems crazy now, right? But that week,
Texas,
Florida was just on, and it's like – Oklahoma beating Tennessee. It's like what? So it's literally everything is week to week.
And then Texas, our guy Arch putting belts to ass.
I will
say, my guy Diego Pavia and our fighting Commodores of Vanderbilt. Woo!
Yeah. Also almost had a comeback too. It's just it's so crazy on a week to week basis.
That wasn't a 2-point conversion. That was nonsense.
I agree. I do agree. That was a bad call.
Came in from Birmingham, and they said, "You know what? Make this closer. We got to make it look a little bit better for our Commodores."
But it is, and I understand. South Carolina's got a terrible offensive line. Some of those numbers that were really good for Ole Miss's defense, you could say, are inflated. I wouldn't argue with you on that. But it's like from a week
6 sacks.
6 sacks is 6 sacks. 2 interceptions is 2 interceptions. And Lenore Sellers is still a guy that coming into the season was like a Heisman candidate, for a lot of people. So you still have to give them credit, but it doesn't matter who you play in this conference on a weekly basis, whether it's at home or it's away. That could be their week. That's why you can't. People are in the national conversation are already, Ole Miss finished with the Citadel, Mississippi State, and Florida. The Rebels are locking for the playoffs. I love hearing it, but I'm also freaking. I'm like, dude, you got to play Jaden Ball. He's going to come in and try to run it down their throats. DJ Lagway played pretty decently against Georgia's secondary, which we know isn't good, but neither is Ole Miss's. So you still have these games that are going to matter, and you just don't know who's going to be on. That's why that focus aspect and that factor of keeping the eye on the prize and being zoned in is so important. And that's Lane has done that. Ben, we should give a shout out to our sponsor, BNA Bank, by the way. Anytime we talk about Ole Miss, it is brought to you by BNA Bank.
BNA Bank, my people, my hometown bank here in New Albany, Mississippi, just up the road or down the road from Oxford, Mississippi, where I go to my second home. It's my professional home. This is my personal home. And BNA Bank, man, they've been my personal friends and supporting bank for all 39 years of my existence. It's branches in New Albany and Tupelo. They emphasize this BNA Bank community involvement. Contact them today, 662-534-8171. My friends Carolyn Brownson, Witt, and Bob Spencer, Mike Staten. Don't keep me I'll list the whole office. You don't want all that. But BNA Bank, which I've told them, Bank of New Albany Bank doesn't make any sense. But we'll go with it. BNA Bank, 662-534-8171. Visit them online at bnabank.com. Thanks to them, to Riverland Roofing, 662-644-4297 for all they do to support not just Game Runs Deep and my podcast, Talk of Champions, but also the Ole Miss Spirit, where you can sign up today. Y'all know the deal. Would love to have you. And on the site today, the Spirit site today, Adam Gorney, national recruiting writer for your own three, behemoth monster sports media company. Ole Miss targets on Lane Kiffin's job status. He's not leaving. He's not leaving. NASCAR McCoy, wonderful name. Perfect college football name. 3-star safety commit, Ole Miss commit NASCAR McCoy said, the staff has told me that he's staying and we're still locked in for the long haul. They're trying to build something special and don't want to be broken at all. So there you go.
Hey, there's something
there you
for
go. You. NASCAR McCoy.
McCoy. Go. I would love to have NASCAR in Oxford. Let me tell you.
I can get NASCAR on this pod next week. Should we do that?
Yeah, I'd love to talk to NASCAR.
Don't tease me with a good time, friend.
Hey, come on now. NASCAR McCoy and Nitro Tuggle got to be from the same. Got to be cut from the same cloth. We talk about all these job openings, Ben. I wanted to have you do kind of rank them for me. Okay, so we've got 12 openings right now. Can I also do
November 3rd predictions?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But so we have 12 openings in college football right now. 9 of those are Power 4 jobs. So I want you to rank those 9 Power 4 jobs. Those being LSU, and I'm going to list them in my order that I would get: LSU, Florida, Penn State, Auburn, Arkansas, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, and Stanford. Okay,
Stanford's last.
Okay. Here, I'm going to text that list to you, too, so you have it sitting in front of you.
Yes, because I want to do this. LSU, Florida. Stanford is last. And this is your order, right?
This was my order, yes.
I would put Oklahoma State above UCLA.
Okay.
Number 1 for me is Penn State.
Penn State is number 1 over LSU.
Mainly because, Penn State, if done right, and James Franklin, the James Franklin model worked. He just never won the game that they wanted him to win, and they just got tired of the same old thing.
Right.
I don't agree with the firing. I think James Franklin would be one of the very first calls Ole Miss would make. If Lane decides to go to Florida, James Franklin, I think he'd beat Ole Miss in 2 days. Because especially if John Summerall's going to Auburn, or Arkansas. But yes, Penn State, because it's not the same road, and as long as they're old stuffy men in suits in back rooms making these decisions and not just the data, Penn State is always going to get deference in some way.
Yeah.
And because honestly, 67% of the national championships in the last however many years have been won by the SEC. The SEC has dominated the postseason landscape. And that infuriates everyone else, but also leads to they want to put Penn State in if Penn State can get there, right?
Yeah.
So Penn State's always going to be in it if you can get that kind of deference plus the big salary. All you got to do is win 3 games in the playoffs. Three, right? Get me to the playoffs with Penn State. Heck yeah, man, that's a brand. And you don't have to go through the SEC gauntlet. That now includes 9 SEC games starting next year. Penn State is the path of least resistance to legacy and glory. It also comes with the weight of being Penn State, and they're going to judge you against all things. And if James Franklin can't do it, nobody can. But if I'm a head coach trying to pick out these jobs, Penn State's number 1. Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is Florida, and it would always be LSU amongst in any other year. It would be LSU, but not this year. Look at the dysfunction.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
They're not swimming in the same pool, bro. They're not. This isn't when they went and got Brian Kelly, they went and took Brian Kelly from Notre Dame. Now they're talking about, hey, we need to find the next guy for our culture and for LSU that loves what we love, but also you're going to have to do it on our terms. This is an Ed Orgeron type of hire coming from them. I think Kelvin Shepherd would be a great hire. So I think LSU is third only because of the dysfunction of the job in this particular cycle, not historically. Historically, LSU is number one and will always be number one. But for this cycle, if I had my pick, if I'm the head coach, and that's how I'm looking at it, Penn State would be one, Florida would be two.
Okay.
But then, LSU, obviously, after that, pick your group.
Would you go? See, this is where it gets interesting because I struggled with Auburn because
I would
Auburn,
rather go to Arkansas than Auburn only because they're so desperate to win.
I was going to say, like, Arkansas seems like they are finally going to be all in and kind of maybe, I don't want to quite say maybe the Ole Miss model, but they could just say, you know what?
LSU dysfunction of this offseason is what Auburn lives in all day. It's like
all the time.
It's what Bane said, bro, in The Dark Knight, right? He's like, you're adapted to the dark. I was born into it. Like I was born into this. Yeah, they're molded by it. That's right. They've been molded by dysfunction. That's who they are. I would never want anything to do with that. John Sumrall, coached at Troy. There's a lot of connective tissue for him with that job. So I think he's the overwhelming favorite to get that one. But Arkansas wants him too. And if I were him, I think in this cycle I'd probably go with Arkansas. But honestly, I'm shooting for Penn State, Florida, LSU. And if you added Ole Miss to this mix, Ole Miss would be number 3 for me. I would want Ole Miss over LSU right now because you come in to replace the guy that built the thing, the next thing to keep the ball rolling. You could be Dabo at Clemson, so Ole Miss would be right up there. I would have Auburn and Arkansas about where you do. UCLA would probably be 8th for me. I think Jeff Lebby's going for Oklahoma State, and I think Shane Beamer's going to be the Virginia Tech coach.
Wow. Okay. So you're saying after Auburn at 5, you're going Oklahoma State at 6. Virginia Tech at 7, UCLA 8, and then Stanford at 9. Okay.
Yes. And here are my predictions. I'm just going with your list. LSU, Kelvin Shepherd. Florida, Eli Drinkwitz or Lane Kiffin. Penn State, Brian Kelly. Auburn, John Sumrall. Arkansas, Alex Golish. I have no idea. UCLA, good luck. Virginia Tech, Shane Beamer. Oklahoma State, Jeff Lebby. Stanford, don't have a clue.
All right.
Job done. You said quick here. That's as few words as I can give you, my stupid loudmouth idiot that apparently I am now the interruptee, according to Sudu's non-fan on YouTube.
And the funny part is the guy said, the guy on the right or the guy on the left is like, come on, buddy.
His name's
the
right
guy
there.
on the left. You're on my channel. My name's right there.
It's Sudu. You can't forget the name Sudu.
I didn't respond to him though.
Yeah, this isn't a response at all. A 42-minute, diatribe about it. Yeah, sure.
All right. So college football playoff rankings drop tomorrow. Can I rank the 12 teams and you tell me what you think?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, I'm going Ohio State. They haven't done anything not to be ranked the top team. As a matter of fact, I think I get the schedule is what it is, but they've been pretty dominant. You got to go number 1. Number 2, I'm going to go Indiana. You could put IU at 1, but once again, Ohio State's done nothing to lose that number 1 spot. Number 3, I'm going to go Texas A&M. They are the undefeated SEC team. Do I think they're beatable? 100%.
Yes.
But we gave them their flowers a week ago, and I think they deserve that ranking for the first. And this is what I think for this week specifically, not what I think it's going to look like at the end of the year because it would be vastly different. Number 4, I'm going to go Bama. They've rolled since that loss to Florida State. They seem very competent. They've only seemed to be getting better as the season has gone on. Number 5, I'm going to go Georgia. They've rolled pretty much since that close loss to Bama. The shootout with Ole Miss, they were able to outlast. They outlasted Florida. Kirby in November is pretty dangerous, so I'm putting them at 5.
And they got the easiest path, one of the easier paths.
100%. And then you look at now 6, 7, 8 to me, you could basically swap. I'm going to go ahead and give Ole Miss number 6 here. Just because SEC schedule, right, the way the Rebels have looked, I really considered putting BYU here because BYU is undefeated, and I know people want to talk about their strength of schedule. They do have the win over Utah, who I think is a better team than their record shows. But for this week specifically, I'm going to give Ole Miss number 6. 7, I go BYU, the undefeated Big 12 team. That win over Utah is impressive. 8 is Oregon. Oregon's best win is what, Northwestern? I mean, are we still giving them credit for Penn State? It was a hostile environment. It was a close game, but right? So,
I would give them credit for the Penn State game because you can't take that away from them, what we thought Penn State and what we thought the win was at time. Penn State's still a good football team, or a good enough football team. So, like, that's not the issue. The issue is they haven't beaten anybody else.
Right. So, Oregon, I want to see more from Oregon. I want to see them win maybe more dominantly. I'm sure some people would, just the casuals would put them at 6 just because of the name recognition and brand. But if you told me today Ole Miss is playing Oregon or BYU's playing Oregon, I wouldn't sit there and go, Oregon's going to win that game. It's a toss-up. I don't know. Number 9, Texas Tech. They might be better than BYU, but we'll see this weekend. That's a big game, and I'm really interested to see how that goes down. They lost to Arizona State, okay? And Kenny Dillingham's a hell of a coach. This is before Sam Levitt got hurt. Texas Tech should be higher up, in my opinion. That's a very fun team to watch. But for now, I will give them number 9. Now, it's going to get interesting from 10 through 12, and people may disagree with me. I think Virginia Tech, you got to put at 10 just because they're the top team in the ACC. The lone loss is NC State, but NC State just beat Georgia Tech. The ACC is going to cannibalize itself, obviously, this season, as we've already seen. But Virginia is what I meant to say. UVA at 10. Okay, this is going to be controversial. Louisville at 11. Louisville's not getting enough credit.
Nope.
If you're going to give Notre Dame, by the way, who a lot of people have rising up and in the playoff, if you're going to give them credit for losing to Miami, going, well, it was Miami, then you got to give Louisville credit for beating number 2 Miami.
I agree.
Right? You can't just pick and choose who you want to give credit to.
That's right.
Louisville, I'm telling you, man, we talked about Jeff Brom before. This guy slays top 5 teams. That team is sneaky good. That's not getting enough credit. I don't know if they're going to be playing for the ACC championship, and that may be the ultimate factor. But as of this first poll rankings coming out, college football playoff rankings coming out this week, to me, Louisville is a top 12 team in the country. I'm putting them at 11, and you should give them a lot more credit. 12, now, as of right now, if this was the real college football playoff, 12 would actually end up being what, Memphis? They're the highest ranked.
Memphis, that's my team.
Highest ranked group of 5 team.
My Uncle HG on Sunday lunch would walk in after the Memphis Tigers. I remember the times they beat Ole Miss, and he was the nicest man in the world, had the most beautiful smile you ever seen in your life, looked like $1 million. All the ladies wanted him his entire life, man. He could charm the socks off. All he wanted to do is live in New Albany, Mississippi, with his wife Connie of 50 years. Ate some chocolate pie, and on Sunday at lunch when he goes see his Ole Miss family like Ben, he'd be wearing that Memphis Tigers.
Oh, he was a Memphis.
Shirt.
Okay.
Blue collar shirt, smiling big. That's how he talked his shit. He didn't say nothing. He just showed up at Sunday lunch because that's the only time we see him during the week. And he'd go, just smiling big, like, hey, guys, how y'all doing? God is good. Yes, sir, all the time. And them Tigers put belt to ass for them Rebels.
Memphis State.
Memphis is my G6 team. Like Ryan Silverfield, another guy that would be on the candidate list potentially for Ole Miss, should be on other candidate lists. Jeff Brom would be an incredible hire.
Brother, Jeff Brom, let me tell you.
Florida's so obsessed with Lane Kiffin, while Jeff Brom looks like the Florida coaches, and that's fine.
100%. So going back to Memphis would be at 12, right? They would be the team to get in. But for the rankings themselves, this is where Texas. We talked about it a week ago, man. They're going to find a way to sneak in somehow. And as of right now, they wouldn't make the playoff at 12. That would of course be Memphis or whoever ends up being the 5th highest ranked conference champ. But as of now, I'm ranking Texas as a top 12 team, with Memphis taking that spot. To me, Oklahoma is not a playoff team. Nope. I don't care what people are seeing. I get the win over Tennessee was good. That team is not built to win in the playoffs. They're just not. Okay, so I'm tired of hearing it. So Oklahoma, Vandy, Utah, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Miami. Those are kind of the teams on the outside looking into me. Miami's not getting in the playoff, in my opinion.
Notre
anymore.
Dame is.
God, dude, this is just so dumb to me that you.
Gotta happen.
Oh God, they're blowing out all these no-name teams after losing their first 2. Like, no, they lost their first 2. It's over. Like, it's over. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. They're going to make the playoff. And you know what's the hardest
thing? I know
thing
they're going to, but they shouldn't.
This is why I ranked Penn State the number 1 job right now in this cycle, because they don't want there's going to be real deference to teams like Notre Dame, Penn State, any non-SEC contender, like championship historic contender. They want to get those teams in. They want to diversify in that way. Unfortunately, the SEC is the best conference in America, and it's hard in the little NFL to break through against that behemoth. But it is what it is, right? I think Louisville is certainly my number 11 team. My G6 team, number 12, would be Memphis. I don't think Texas makes it in. I think it becomes a really annoying conversation that people try to convince themselves that their eyes deceived them for 2 months when they finished with only 2 losses. Like, that's the one thing. Mississippi State fans, you should have been pissed, obviously, for not getting your first SEC win over Texas, but also, like, you allowed this beast of a narrative nationally to be, like, really gave it some oxygen letting that shitty team come back. But I'm happy for Arch, man. He looks like he's coming around with lesser expectations, and he's playing pretty good ball.
He's playing well. I will say his stat line, like, once again, this is going to sound like a hater, but if you listen to the pod, you know I love Arch. The stat line shows one thing, but some of those throws were still a little worrisome. Like the Ryan Wingo touchdown would have 60-something yarder. That was very much in front of him. There was one in the back of the end zone that he threw that was very high, and his receiver had to go get it. So he's still a work in progress. So that Arch hype is starting
to do that for every quarterback. Like, I did that for Trinidad Chambliss after Ole Miss hung on to beat Washington State 24-21.
No, you could. And my point is not to take away Arch's stats. My point is to say, like, you're starting to see that. It's what we talked about. You know, oh, he's starting to win a little bit more, and it's like, Arch Manning, oh, there he, look at him, he's coming around, dominates Vandy, and it's like, hey, chill out. He's still not perfect. He's still not what you said he was going to be at the beginning of the year. Those balls still could have gone either way. Like, let's calm down. Continue to let him grow. Continue to let him win. I love Arch, though, so don't get that twisted.
Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, Texas A&M. Number 4, Ole Miss. Number 5, Alabama. Number 6, Georgia. Number 7, Oregon.
Okay.
Number 8, Texas Tech.
Okay. Number 9, BYU.
God,
or no?
I don't like BYU.
I don't disagree with you. And once again, this is like, I want to make this very clear. My rankings were not what I think the teams are going to look like at the end of the year. It's just what I think they deserve to be ranked right now based off their wins, their records. BYU is an undefeated Big 12 team. And so, in my opinion, that garners you that top 7 spot. But I don't disagree with you. Like, I know now you had Ole Miss at 4. The Spirit people are gonna love you. They're gonna talk so much crap about me now.
Hey, dude, your boy has bills to pay. I have 2 beautiful daughters right here now. You know what I mean?
They're gonna be like, say he's a real rebel. Sudu's not.
Like, they don't get food put on their table and in their mouths off of game runs deep.
But you also do. You also agree, though. You also do think Ole Miss should be ranked 4th. You're not just saying that. Yeah.
Yes, I do think they should be ranked 4th because their only loss so far is a 1-possession loss to Georgia at their place. And yeah, the defense was pathetic, but like, look at all these other teams that have losses.
But
who has the best loss?
But you would still put Ole Miss ahead of Georgia, despite the head-to-head win for Georgia.
Yeah, because I think on a neutral site it would be a lot of this. I mean, that was a 1-possession game, and these, like, South Carolina almost got Alabama, and then Ole Miss took the best shot South Carolina had and then just put belt to ass anyway. I keep saying that because, like, I don't know if y'all seen this. Have you seen this? Like,
have I seen it? Come on, I've already made GIFs out of it. You kidding me?
Well, like, I got to get it out of my brain because like the 3rd time I've said it today. Like, okay, Ben,
key
get
ones.
that out of here.
I have a screen thing from a screen recording GIF that I made from, I think, the LSU game where Keywan ran the touchdown and he did the belt to ass celebration.
Yes.
Like, he's been doing it all year, so I don't know if it was because of him. I mean, it's just a common saying on social media, right? We use it all the time, but I don't know if that's what brought it on. But props to the students for getting creative with that.
I love
that is
organic
awesome
stuff. That's where the spirit of the stuff is being preserved in college football.
No doubt.
Really bummed and disappointed in Georgia Tech. They let me down.
But let's be real. They should have lost to Wake Forest. That officiating bullcrap really.
You're right.
That's why, as much as I love Haynes King, and I believe that man deserves an invite to New York, he's not going to win it. Man, he had 500 yards of offense or something on his. He is that football team. They're not. They don't appear to be a playoff team to me. Could they beat Georgia? 100%. Then they're right back into that conversation. But this is not a team I look at going in the playoffs to win it all because there's just not enough there. They're not deep enough at all levels of their team. But it was sad because I was rooting for Georgia Tech. Love Haynes King.
I'm going to put number 9 Notre Dame because it's going to happen. You got to accept it. It's going to happen. I guess BYU would be 10 then. I want Louisville at 10. Okay. I really like Louisville. BYU just because of the strength of schedule, and then Memphis will be number 12, the projected highest G6, G5 champion. There's some bubble teams that are kind of interesting, but not really. I mean, like,
where'd you put? So you didn't have you have Louisville in and Virginia not.
Yes, I have Louisville in, Virginia not.
Okay.
Because I think Notre Dame is going to get in. Oklahoma, I'm not buying any of it either. I've seen them in person. Their place, Norman, the first visit was amazing, but yeah, I don't see Tennessee's just that
They're
it
done.
was a good win for them on the road. They had to have it, so
Right.
their resume stays strong. But no, Texas, I'm telling you, if they finish with 2 losses, they're going to put those
They're
Longhorns
getting the
in.
Notre Dame treatment. It's
Yep.
going to be because of brand, because of money, because of ads, and all the stuff they can do around that fan
Yep.
base and that program. Yeah,
Vanderbilt, you're not going to get in
they're
now.
done. Yeah, it's
Georgia
sad.
Tech, you're out. USC, Michigan, Missouri,
Miami's
Utah,
out.
Virginia. It's Virginia really that would be next up for me. And you need to reward, like, if you're really about that parity and all the things you really want, and not rewarding the SEC and rewarding the other teams, like, give Tony Elliott and Virginia some love. Like,
100%.
That they've done some really great things, and yeah, the ACC is not the SEC, but that's the kind of team you reward. But honestly, I think it's pretty chalky right now. I think we kind of know who those contenders are, and we could see a pretty straight line into the season in that way, barring something, nightmares. Like, next week's going to be a circus at Ole Miss, an absolute circus, not just because it's Ole Miss playing a key opponent in the middle of a title chase, but like, it's going to be the Lane Kiffin show. It's going to be the Lane Kiffin Bowl. We're going to write
He's
this
going
down.
to Lanesville, Ben.
Yeah, like, that's going to lead all of Feinbaum and SEC Now and all that, Marty and whatever. Like, all of that's going to be led by Lane, and this setup. And, like, could he leave? Could he stay? As long as Lane keeps doing what he's doing and keeping Ole Miss on the straight and narrow, like,
Hey,
playoff
Stay focused.
field is gettable, and that's why I like Ole Miss has real wars, especially defensively. They played their best defensive game of the year Saturday against South Carolina. That's not saying much, no, but after the disaster that was Georgia, to put together back-to-back competent weeks, strong weeks even, Oklahoma and then South Carolina, the Citadel, they're going to win that game. They're going to dominate that game. That's encouraging for what is the only reason why you're not undefeated. You just couldn't get a stop against Georgia. I think this Ole Miss team isn't getting enough credit for how consistent it's been, and it starts at the top, even with all the noise with Lane Kiffin, where he's kept Ole Miss. I think they deserve to be rewarded. Now, I understand those that would rank Georgia ahead of Ole Miss. They beat Ole Miss head-to-head, more than fair. Same record, more than fair. Alabama, I think, has the worst loss of the 3, and they don't deserve to be where they are, but they're getting that deference that Penn State gets, that Texas is going to get, Notre Dame's going to get.
And they're undefeated in the SEC, right? And that I think that counts for something too.
Which is, somebody knocks off Alabama, then I'll really people right now are saying, "Ben, what the hell are you talking about?" But, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't look great. They don't look great to me.
No.
Do they look like Ty Simpson's that dude?
They look they don't look great compared to the past Bama models, but in this new modern era, it's like, okay, the only team, Ben, and whatever, say whatever you want. I'm not a Big Ten guy, but if you think I am, whatever. The only team to me that actually looks like they can win the national title, and I feel really good about putting money on it, is Ohio State.
Ohio State.
And Indiana, I'm looking forward to playing Ohio State to really know what kind of team Indiana is. Because Oregon is just like, meh, kind of right now to me.
I'm the same way. I want to see Indiana. Like, I hope that it's real. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, it's real
I'm
enough.
with you. I
want to see them going to the playoff, and I want Kurt Cignetti to announce, Indiana has pulled the Clemson for the longest in the 2000s, 2010s. Like, Clemson was always hitting up on that ceiling. Now, Indiana was never like that, but Clemson was always right there. They finally break through with Dabo. They start when they become a contender. Now everybody considers Clemson among the best in America, even though, the results don't really follow that.
The wheels have really fallen off, though, huh?
Yeah, but, like, still, Clemson is Clemson, people will say. Maybe one day we'll be saying Indiana is Indiana, but it started right here. And I would love to see Kurt Cignetti in that group, and Fernando Mendoza, who should be another leading Heisman candidate, probably is the favorite, one of the favorites for QB1 in the NFL draft next year. That's true. I would love to see them have that kind of storybook and we've arrived kind of run, other than Ole Miss getting the love it deserves, which is they've only lost by one possession to South Carolina, and not South Carolina, at Georgia. And this is a team that continues to put one good effort after another and continues to compartmentalize in a culture and era where it's damn near impossible to do so. So I just would give them a little love in that way.
No doubt. Hey, want to quickly talk about what the hell is wrong with Tennessee fans, man? Is this the most toxic fan base in the country?
No.
They're talking about getting rid of Josh Heupel. Okay, let me give you some numbers here. 2021, he comes in. They go 7-6.
Yep.
They go 11-2. They go 9-4. They go 10-3 with a college football playoff appearance. By the way, the team they played was the eventual national champion at their house, right? That's who they lost to in the playoff. They're 6-3 this year. In a year where your quarterback transfers as late as he did, you had to just go get somebody out of the clearance rack, essentially, right? Joey Aguilar. That's who they got. And somehow they were still very competitive, almost beat Georgia. And, what did you have Tennessee? I had them maybe winning 8 or 9 games max this year. Think of everybody they lost on defense. James Pierce, Omar Norman-Lott. There was other guys that were key contributors a year ago on offense and defense. Dylan Sampson left, that they lost. And a new quarterback and all this turmoil, and they were still in the conversation heading into November. The man is 43-18 in 5 seasons with that playoff appearance. Tennessee was 73-75 in between Philip Fulmer leaving and Heupel being hired in 11 seasons. In 11 seasons, they won 73 games. They've already won 43-5 with Heupel. What the hell, man? Seriously, Ben, and do they have a point? I understand it's Tennessee. No. You don't want mediocrity. No. But in a year with no expectations, what the hell are they talking about?
No. Josh, what it is, I don't blame Tennessee fans. I don't think that they're worse than Florida fans or than LSU fans. Or fans are fans, and in this culture, it has never been faster and more expedited as far as you better win it now. Buddy, you get 3 years. 3. And honestly, if you aren't showing steps in year one, buddy, they're going to start coming at you, right? They've been as patient, as you can expect from a program in this culture. They need to be more patient because what Josh Heupel has done, he's gotten you a playoff appearance.
Lane Kiffin hasn't done that. Think of how many other coaches.
Lane Kiffin had done that, and you've got. I want to I've seen that online. Oh, bring Lane back. He wants to wants a reunion in Knoxville, guys. I think the world of Lane Kiffin as a football coach. I think he's found himself at Ole Miss. He's been an incredible guy. When he first came on the scene, I didn't know what it was going to be like to cover him, to talk to him, and write about him, and do the job as we have to do it. He has been nothing but fair and equitable and good. He's been easy to deal with, been really fun. He always generates headlines. He's interesting. He tries to be genuine. I've enjoyed it. This is not a knock on him, but the record is what it is. He hasn't made the playoffs with the best team he's probably ever assembled as far as his teams in his head coaching career for where they were, be it the NFL or college football. He assembled the best team he'd ever had and went and lost 3 games, including Kentucky and at Florida when Florida was a disaster. And yet you want him over the guy that's taken you to a playoff appearance? And you want to pay that man who hadn't done that $5 million, $6 million more? We have lost the plot as we obsess more and more with what's next. Lane Kiffin is right. Do I think he could go to Florida? Absolutely. I think it's either Florida or the Ole Miss extension right now. It could change. I don't think the Dolphins are real. The Giants could open up, and that would be interesting. Jackson's obviously there, but for other reasons too. But at the end of the day, we are paralyzed by the now and getting rewarded now when you can't even appreciate that the man last year in Josh Heupel lost his star quarterback that you're celebrating, saying, look what Hype's doing, man, a 5-star, second only to Arch. Didn't work out right. Dad had a mess. Well, it goes to UCLA. You say, well, Josh doesn't deserve that. Go Tennessee. Goes against Joey Aguilar, who really kept you afloat this year when it could have been bad. And yes, it's not what you wanted, but it's not going to be what you wanted every single year. If you're really talking about losing him and going and paying more for Lane Kiffin, you're talking about bad business. Florida, you really, with your shitty record for the last however many years, your 4th coach in 10 years, your 5th coach in 10 years, whatever it is. You want to turn up your nose at James Franklin? Who, for the last five years, that production by itself, you'd have been frustrated because he can't win the big one. But, buddy, you'd have given a left testicle. What are we talking about?
I heard.
This is nuts to me, man.
I think it was Jonathan Crompton. You bring up James Franklin, the former Tennessee quarterback. I think compared Heupel to Franklin, saying he's great, but he just can't win the big one, is what they're saying. I just don't think that's the case. He hasn't been there that long. I was gonna say, I just don't think that's the case. Heupel's an offensive guy. He's a bright guy. He's sharp. He's good at what he does. Once again, he was there a year ago with Nico, who wasn't even perfect. Like, they built around their run game, and they had a solid defense, and it wasn't even the quarterback yet. He does recruit very highly touted quarterbacks to that school. I think they have another one coming in this season. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, man. Is that why you think Heupel's leaving for Oklahoma State? Is it because, I mean, he's an Oklahoma guy?
Heupel. I think Jeff Lebby's going to Oklahoma State.
Okay, you said
Josh
Lebby.
Heupel. Okay. Josh Heupel will be at Oklahoma next year. That's what I think.
You think he's going to the alma mater?
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere this offseason. I think the people calling for it are just they're jumping the gun. This is just too early for all that. Yeah, we all got to take a step back. You know what I mean? Like, the Lane Kiffin bell of the coaching carousel ball for you, LSU fan, Florida fan, whatever. Before Oklahoma, top 15 win at their place, he was 1 for 10 at Ole Miss in true road games. He was 9 for 3 with the best team and staff that he himself pulled together. He is not the best he worked on, because that's Nick Saban's staff with Kirby and pick your guys. But the one he assembled as the head coach, he put together in the best roster, and he lost 3 games. If that bell of the coaching carousel ball had done the exact same thing, but with Tennessee or at Florida or at LSU, y'all would have his ass on the hot seat.
Yeah. It's because it's little Ole Miss, you know.
But Lane's feeling himself right now. Like, Lane has been great.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, he's enjoying this. It's never been a better time to be Lane Kiffin. Business is booming, and the man that everybody in the business wants to talk to, that wants to hang around with at the corporate meeting, is Lane Kiffin. But it just shows you how far off track we've gotten, not because he isn't a great coach, but because he hasn't accomplished what Josh Heupel did, but you just are so paralyzed by what could be and what you think should be than what is. Tennessee is in the race every single year. Like, 2 things can be true. This year is a disappointment because you wanted to make the playoff, but also you have a damn good coach. Continue to give him resources.
But how was it a disappointment? That's my point.
I don't know, because you didn't expect much this year.
If this would have happened last year and they would have just completely folded a year ago and lost 4 games and didn't get into the playoff, then sure, maybe you have a point at that point to go, oh, you know what, this is a very talented team and we wasted it. But they didn't. With one of their most talented rosters, they were in the playoff. They had to go play in the shoe, man. They had to go play the eventual national champion.
Tell them.
And if you would have played, I mean, who were some of what was last year? It was like Arizona State. I mean, Cam Scatterby was pretty good, but I'm trying to think, was it SMU that got in last year? I'm
SMU, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, imagine if Tennessee had a better matchup a year ago. I don't get it, man. It truly was one of the more baffling things I saw this weekend was the Heupel needs to go stuff. I was blown away by it, truthfully. As a fan of the sport, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? You know, I thought the James Franklin firing was...
As a fan of the sport, first and foremost, guys, everybody take a beat. Lane Kiffin is not college football savior. I promise. Like, he's a great coach, and he's done great things at Ole Miss. But, if he did the same thing at Florida that he did last year, you can't tell me nothing, buddy. Y'all be saying, all right, what's his buyout? This fraud? And listen, Lane's thinking he can go anywhere he wants to and be the best. Of course he does. He's Lane. That's what makes him who he is, what makes him great.
Right.
He's unique unto himself. He still hadn't won shit by himself.
To be fair, that is true.
Hadn't won a thing. So, I think the true tale of Lane Kiffin will be how this Ole Miss team finishes.
Yeah.
If they make the playoff, he will be validated in a lot of that belief.
Mm-hmm.
If they win a title, of course he will be validated, and even more than that, he will be enshrined at Ole Miss, and they won't care where he goes.
Yeah. They'll resurrect the statue as he's walking out of the door. They
wouldn't resurrect it. That would mean that they brought it back.
They brought it back.
They would erect.
Sorry. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, how you erect, as in how you feel every time you talk about Georgia.
I knew that joke was coming.
It's right there.
You didn't get a single one in until now. I agree. Okay, can we talk about Mississippi State a little bit? Because you obviously a week ago, look, as we mentioned, in this new era and the way things have ended up with State, you can't help but be happy for them. Jeff Lebby gets his first SEC win. Also, Kamario Taylor, man, is he the starter? That man, he throws a pretty ball, man.
Hey, listen, that's an in-state kid 4-star. You don't see it much anymore. The true freshman that comes in gets to play a little bit. Blake Shapen's done some great things. That kid's got skill. That kid's got ball. I mean, he can play. And
I don't know if I want to face the kid in the Egg Bowl.
I don't know if I'm Mississippi State that I'm not trying to go ahead and carve out a specific huge chunk of my NIL for next year specifically to keep him. I mean, that's what you're going to have to start thinking about because this kid's got juice, and they're going to come after him. And if Jeff gets out this year, leaves this year, who do you think is coming for first? Kamario Taylor. You know what I mean? So, what a great find for State. What a great win.
Who
for
was
State.
there? Hey, not to just cut you off again and make our listener upset, but who was the kid a year ago?
Idiot.
Number 0. Was it Tom? What was the kid's name? The quarterback that ended up transferring. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, he went to LSU.
Yeah.
I'll find him. He backs up Nussmeier.
Yeah,
Michael Van Buren.
Van Buren. That is what you want to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because I thought I watched Van Buren in Athens when he played Georgia, absolutely carve up Georgia secondary. And I was like, oh, that guy seems legit, and they lost him. You don't want that to happen with Taylor. You want to be able to keep him. So I agree with you. I think the whatever they got to do to keep the kid seems like the type of quarterback you build around.
Yes. And that's the kind of guy you have to have in this culture. You have Michael Van Buren, went to LSU. He's the starter for LSU next year, and I think he'd be a good one.
He'll be good.
Levy's good at picking quarterbacks, man, and he's found another one in Kamario Taylor. But it's just good to see those guys get rewarded, seriously, because honestly, State has a real argument to make that they should be 7-2. They really do. And here's the really funny thing. Everyone asks, Ben, what if Lane does leave? Well, I can tell you, I could probably put together or ballpark the guy or the pool from which the name or the person comes out. Does that make sense?
Are you about to say Jeff Levy?
I'm just saying.
Are you about, Ben? Look at me in my eyes and tell me.
Jeff Levy would be. They would talk to Jeff Levy. Of course they would. Listen, man. In 2022.
I do love Jeff Levy. You know this. I loved his offensive game plans.
I'm not saying I love nothing.
I'm not talking about the
blah,
person.
blah.
I'm talking about the coach.
I'm just telling you, in 2022, this is the job. This is what happened. When Lane was going to Auburn, and now 3 years later, he finally admits it. There were two planes scheduled to go to two places. One was to go to Baylor to talk to Dave Aranda, and the other was to go to Norman, Oklahoma to bring Jeff Levy home. He, of course, would be on the list or the contact list. He's probably already been vetted in some way. Reached out through agents and stuff. I don't think it would be him.
That would crush
What would
them,
really
man.
be funny, who would kill in this new age, man? Penn State, go hire Dan Mullen. He hates recruiting.
He doesn't want to leave UNLV. He's got it made out there, man. He doesn't want to recruit. He can get guys out of the portal and win, and there's no expectations.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he would be a great CEO. As far as X's and O's, they get very few or better than Dan Mullen.
I respect the hell out of Mullen as a coach. Yeah.
The most fun thing would be if Ole Miss wins the title, Lane goes to Florida saying, thank you, Ole Miss, for everything, that Ole Miss just hires Dan Mullen. That would be the funniest, absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. The heel heat he would generate would last at least a year.
No doubt.
What I think Ole Miss would do is hire James Franklin.
I don't see James Franklin at Ole Miss. I don't know if he's...
John Sumrall is for me, John Sumrall is where it would start.
Yeah, I agree.
They really love John Sumrall.
What happened to Pete, man? Pete, the Pete stuff has kind of died down. Huh?
He'd be a guy they talk to for sure. And if you want to keep things operationally as consistent as possible, well, that makes him then an intriguing candidate. Also, Joe Judge would be an intriguing candidate in that scenario.
Nope. Stop it. Stop it right now.
I'm just telling you.
This is where the show is going off the rails. Joe Judge, get out of here.
You're asking me to try to put together what I believe to be the most realistic list. I'm trying to do that, and all you're doing is doing the fan thing where you're like, he would say, I'm not saying
Joe Judge, Ben, with all the other options available. Joe Judge, are you serious?
But if they play into a title in January and he doesn't make a decision, which he could very well do until January, Ole Miss is going to have a very small pool to pull from an already pathetic pool. John Sumrall will be at Auburn or Arkansas.
It's
James
hard to
Franklin will be at Auburn or Arkansas, if not Ole Miss.
Virginia Tech. What's going on with those rumors, by the way?
Shane Beamer, man. He's going to they're going with Shane Beamer.
You think Shane's leaving South Carolina?
To go to Virginia Tech? Because South Carolina ain't happy. Like
No, they're
last
not
year,
having
Shane Beamer was the bell of their, or the apple of their eye, because they were right there in the playoffs. Lenore Sellers was a preseason All-American Heisman candidate, QB1 potential for the next year's
Yeah,
draft.
but they already sacrificed Shula, right? So I think that was kind of the trade-off.
And whenever that starts happening, buddy, that's when you know. Like Shane Beamer's going to Virginia Tech. That's where that's happening. South Carolina will open up. Like I don't even know who South Carolina would get. Alex Golish would make some sense, I think, but.
I like Golish a lot. Okay, so
I love setting up the potential hypotheticals, but also trying to be honest. Like Dan Mullen's a hypothetical at Ole Miss would never happen, but how hilarious it would be is all I'm saying. Like would be by far the funnest way to go. Miserable to deal with, but like if you're Ole Miss, you just want to keep.
If the man
it's like Gary Jones always says, like. He wants headlines. Headlines are headlines are headlines. You want to stay in the conversation.
No.
You want to keep that face and that'd be
and
hilarious.
he's a hell
Never
of
would
a
happen.
coach. That's the thing.
Yep.
Like
He just don't want to recruit. He didn't want to recruit like the old days. He didn't want to go to mom and dad's house and say,
Right.
"Hey, give me old Johnny." You know, he wanted just how much they cost. All right, cool. This is how much we got.
Which could work, but you still got to have that high school recruiting.
Yep.
Like you still have to at least try. You know what I mean? And with Mullen, that would be my only thing is he just doesn't want to recruit. There's a lot of different things we can get to, but we kind of have to go ahead and move on. We have Bless Your Heart and obviously Week 11 matchups. Okay, out of all these things, I'm going to bring up to you. You tell me what you want to talk about. All right, let's let Ben pick. Okay, we could talk about how Florida is still dangerous. We could talk about C.J. Bailey, the North NC State QB. We could talk
Bailey
about
going to be the most wanted quarterback in the portal.
He is freaking good. We could talk about if Dion really wants to be at Colorado because, boy,
of
things
course
are
he
looking
doesn't.
rough.
That's a one-sentence answer. He's been done. He's ready to move on.
We could talk about how Steve Angeli's injury derailed Syracuse's potential playoff push this year, and I hate it for our guy Fran Brown, who had to get on the mic this week and implore people to believe in him. I don't know why he has to do that, Fran. We believe, Fran. We believe.
Game Runs Deep believes in Fran Brown. Get like the Save Bueller stickers. Instead, I want like believe in Fran. I believe, like those Miracle on 34th Street pins. I believe in Fran Brown.
We love you, Fran. I wanted to say Carson Beck broke my heart. What the hell, Miami?
I'm just waiting for you to finally say, like, you were gushing about this Miami team.
Oh my
how
God.
They look like Georgia.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Here's the thing. It's still not wrong. They did those first few weeks of the season. So I was down in Florida doing shows with CBS and ran into Danny Cannell. Great guy, by the way. Super, super nice. Had never met him before. And I was talking to Danny about Miami, and Danny was like, dude, this was my national championship pick. And we just sat there and talked about everything we saw those first few weeks and what the hell happened. And neither one of us could figure out. It's like, what happened? The only thing I could think of, you got to put this on Cristobal. Remember what I said? I said that when I made that point. I said, Ben, the only thing that's going to hold him back is going to be Mario Cristobal's coaching. Now, I didn't realize Carson Beck was going to completely implode and just start throwing everybody under the bus. That was on me. For believing in Carson Beck, 100% on me. Everything else we saw, the offensive line, the defense, all that disappeared. I put that on coaching. How do you have the most talented roster they've had in I don't know how many years? I mean, a year ago you could have made that point, but I think this year's roster top to bottom is even more talented than what they had with Cam Ward a year ago. And you go out of the state of Florida for the first time this year and you lose to SMU, which shout out to Rhett and SMU, and I love the Ponies being good. I think it's good for college football. But, dude.
Hey, I could take or leave SMU, but that's just me.
What'd you say?
I could take or leave SMU, but that's for many reasons.
I get you. But listen, Took me a second. You're good. This guy's on fire today. But I just wanted to say I was wrong. Anybody that wants to call me out, feel free. But Carson Beck, dude, you broke my heart, man. You broke my heart. I thought you were going to.
What I really want to do is bless some hearts. If he's breaking your heart, let's make you feel better about blessing.
We will. Okay, that's done. College football season basketball tips off tonight. So just to let our listeners know,
your most random college Ole Miss basketball player growing up that you irrationally love for no reason.
Dundrekus Nelson.
Dundrekus Nelson. All right,
Yeah.
Here's the funny story about Dundrekus Nelson. No, I can't tell that story. But let's just say Andy Kennedy called me at night and went, Ben, you won't believe what Dundrekus Nelson just did. And it involved police and pizza and having a good time.
Interesting. My point is,
I always use Jozon Darby. Ole Miss basketball tips off tonight. Bringing it back. I love college football. College football more than
most every other thing, but college basketball will always be a special thing for me, especially Ole Miss basketball, because I've got stories.
You're the
for
guy.
days.
Ben Garrett is the college basketball guy.
Okay, calm down.
Not even remotely. Sorry, Ole Miss. I was going to say Ole Miss basketball guy.
Okay,
you are.
Well, then I'll say, well, maybe.
You are the Ole Miss basketball guy. When I was growing up, I mean, you would like obviously came to you for football stuff all the time, but man, when it was college basketball season, I was like, this guy's got a relationship with AK or something. He's putting out fire. All right, so Ole Miss plays Southeastern Louisiana tonight. Is that right?
Yes, Southeastern Louisiana.
So give us a quick primer on just what to expect. AJ Storr, Comerdine, all these guys. What should we expect?
2-minute warning because I really want to bless some hearts because, dude, I know some of the ones you're going to play, and I'm very excited. Number one, Chris Beard, best coach Ole Miss has ever had on paper, absolutely killing it. They upset number 2 Houston in a scrimmage, got their butts kicked against St. Mary's, another NCAA tournament team. I think the floor is a lot more volatile than last year's team, but I think the ceiling is every bit as high, if not higher. And last year's team got to the Sweet 16 for just the second time in program history, matched the greatest single season accomplishment in program history by getting to that Sweet 16. And I think this team has more explosive play make and dynamicism that last year's team didn't have, more options, but also the warts are like Malik Dia has always been just an inconsistent performer, an inconsistent start. That's why he's not in the NBA right now. Can he find that consistency? Elias Carmerdine, NBA caliber player coming over from France, and man, they think he could be the best signee for Beard at Ole Miss to this point. But transitioning to that game, got here a little to this game, got here late. Travis Perry got pushed out at Kentucky. I mean, the scoring upside is crazy, but the consistency of it. So there's a lot of that that could lead them to have some ups and downs. But yeah, man, I think the Ole Miss is staring at another NCAA tournament team. And Chris Beard, man, you talk about coaching carousel. You think it's bad with Lane? It's going to be even worse. I mean, it's going to be the same thing in every March with Chris Beard.
No doubt.
Because, I mean, what he's doing at Ole Miss basketball, fans everywhere else, Florida and LSU, you should be giving Chris Beard the energy you're giving Lane Kiffin because he's actually doing something that hasn't been done before at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin is winning at unprecedented levels as far as overall wins and stuff, but make the playoff, be that guy. And I think that's, Chris Beard is going to be every bit as coveted every single year. He's already turned down Texas A&M. He's turned down Arkansas, but it's going to be hard as hell to keep him. And the cost of business only keeps going up, and that's because he has Ole Miss in a contention place it's never been before. And I fully expect him to be that good again this year.
I love it. And just want to give our listeners a kind of tune into what the plan for college basketball season. So obviously Ben and I are going to be very focused on college football. Both love college basketball as well. Good friend of mine, Chip Williams. If we got any Grizzlies people that listen to this podcast, you know him from Grizzlies Twitter, NBA Draft. Savant when it comes to basketball. So he's going to be coming on every week, do a segment with us, and he's going to be kind of keeping a pulse on national college basketball headlines. Anything Ben and I might have missed or haven't gotten a chance to see, Chip will be able to come on and give us insight. So we're excited to have him on starting next week. Super, super knowledgeable guy. Worked with him in Memphis for a few years when I was at Channel 5, and just really excited to have him on. So that's kind of the plan for college basketball season. All right, Benny, we've got Week 11 matchups coming up. The biggest one, BYU, Texas Tech. It's in Lubbock. College game day is going to be there. It's going to be a big one. I'm sure Pat McAfee's going to have his shirt off, the excitement, the energy, all the pageantry that surrounds it. But ultimately, when it comes down to it on the field, I think the Red Raiders are going to win this one. Benny, what say you?
Red Raiders. I don't know what the line is, but I'm picking Texas Tech. I just don't believe in BYU. I just don't see it. I think Texas Tech is on to something, even though that some things have gone wrong that they didn't necessarily see happening or foresee happening. But yeah, I'm picking Texas Tech.
I think Texas Tech is there. I love watching their offense play. I haven't seen a ton of their games all the way through this year, but the bits that I have caught, love their offense. No matter who's at quarterback, just it seems like the next guy steps up and kills it. Very dynamic.
They're committed to paying.
They are in that Ole Miss. They're cut from the same cloth as Ole Miss. They are paying whatever it takes to give what's his name, Joey McGuire, what it takes to win down there.
My thing is why I know he's like a Texas football legend, but what Joe McGuire is every bit the candidate that Lane Kiffin would be.
I was going to say I don't see his name enough on the big time coaching list.
Agree.
But once again, for him, why would he want to leave? He can get all the players, he can pay for everybody down there at Texas Tech. You know what's funny, Ben, before we continue to the next matchup? When we say it, we're homers or we don't know what we're talking about, but when Nick Saban says it on College Game Day, finally, yeah, then everybody starts kind of coming around. Well, does he have a point? Why would Lane want to leave? What? Yeah, I guess it makes sense if Signetti stay. But when Sudu and Ben say it, oh, God, you guys are just Ole Miss homers.
And at the end of the day, Lane could end all of this at any point, and he's chosen not to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let him do him, man. Businessman. The Citadel at Ole Miss. Rebs number 7 now in the AP poll. You think they'll be at 4? I think they'll be around 6, 7,
Oh, they're
8.
not moving. I don't think they'll be at 4. So that's where I would rank
that's
them.
where
I
you
think
would
they're going
rank
to be
them.
7 or 6 until they lose.
Yeah. The Citadel coming into town. Any chance for a letdown this week?
Don't see it, buddy. I think it's everybody gets a turn this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3 A&M at number 19 Missouri. Bo Prabula obviously out. I'm getting some weird vibes from this one. I don't know. Just a hunch. If I have to do an upset this week.
We always do. You have to. I was going to pick Missouri over Texas A&M because
I'm just going to take Missouri. It's a fun one to pick. I mean, Texas A&M, like we said, they're great. Marcel Reed is great, but we've been saying it. They're not unbeatable. Every week in the SEC is different, no matter who you play.
And one win, one loss is not going to cost you.
Right.
I'd rather get my loss out of the way now just to go, okay, like if I'm Texas A&M, win, lose, or draw, you're still going to be a playoff contender after this weekend. But I could see this one from a storytelling perspective.
Yes.
Being the game that gets Eli Drinkwitz, Florida.
All right. So we're both taking Mizzou over A&M. Yep. Auburn at number 15, Vandy. Do DJ Durkin's Tigers have a shot?
They do. And like Billy Gonzalez in Florida showed you that change always leads to more competitiveness.
Exactly.
Typically, unless you fire Houston Nutt and then keep him on as your head coach anyway.
Good God. Wow.
So typically, like any kind of change, especially when it's going bad, it just it makes it a little better. If it's impossible to keep it going.
Yeah.
I could see DJ Durkin and Auburn beating Vanderbilt this weekend. Yes, DJ Durkin was at one point a very hot coaching candidate as a head coach. Now he's settled in for years and years as one of the best defense coordinators in football. Am I crazy to think that DJ Durkin could legitimately make a run at this job? Because I really think he could.
How much has Auburn's defenses have given up? No more than 20, 24 points or something this season?
Yeah, he's been a head coach before.
He turned it around at Ole Miss.
Yeah, at Ole Miss.
Turned it around at A&M.
A&M, he was great.
Auburn.
It would obviously be it wouldn't be fun for Auburn fans if this is bull crap and we're little Auburn or we're not swinging for the fences. But dude, if you got the right offensive coordinator there, DJ, that could maybe work. Maybe you could make just as much a case for it as Pete Golding at Ole Miss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or DJ Durkin, I think, is going to make a real run for this, but I didn't know if I was too crazy to think that. I think he really can. I think he could start this weekend, especially with Vanderbilt and the letdown that was Texas. And they didn't. And yes, it looked at the end of all things, it looked like it was a close game. It wasn't.
Here's DJ Durkin's path. You ready? He beats Vandy, and then they win the Iron Bowl. He becomes a head
win the
coach.
Iron Bowl. You win the Iron Bowl. I think he'll go, man. Let's see here. And I think if not, the ugliness of his past, and look it up if you want to. I'm not doing your Google searching for you. But if DJ, if that's still hurting him, it's legitimate. Let it be. Then that's fine. But as far as a coaching resume, he's in this pool, you can make a case for him. I'm not saying it's a great case. I'm just saying you can make one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Wake Forest at number 12, Virginia. Another one that just gives me. I know Wake Forest just got the doors. Beat off of them by Florida State. But you just never know in college football on a week-to-week basis, Ben. You don't.
We've already picked our upset. We're both picking Missouri over Texas A&M. It's Virginia.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another one this week just for fun, just for shits and gigs. Sudu's gonna take Wake Forest over, and this gives rooms for my boys, the Cardinals of Louisville, the Fighting Harry Douglases. Shout out my dog HD, for them to rise up in the ACC rankings. Damn right. I'll have to send this to HD. He's gonna love it. I'm gonna take Wake Forest over Virginia. Totally, no ball knowledge whatsoever. Nothing on the field or on paper that even suggests that this could happen. Just a vibes pick. Wake Forest over Virginia. LSU at number 4, Alabama. Remember when this game used to mean something? Remember those days?
Yeah. But a lot of things used to mean different things in the old days. Right now, I'm kind of distracted because apparently somebody on Twitter. Hugh Freeze's statement that he released on Twitter.
AI.
Yeah, 99.28% AI GPT generated.
Oh, whatever. I don't even care anymore, dude. Here's my thing with AI, right? If you write something and you put it into ChatGPT and go make it better, and I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I may be different from people.
It's whatever. I'm not talking. This isn't a discussion about friggin' AI and ChatGPT because I could go down the road with all that. I just think it's like, man, leave the man alone. He was just trying to do a nice end, like you're just trying to say goodbye. And he's still getting dunked on. Leave the man alone. It's over, And I think DJ Durkin can make a case for that job. But yeah, which game are we on now?
LSU Bama.
Yeah, Bama. Now, you know what? Frank Wilson's gonna have them Tigers. He's gonna have them playing.
Is Frank Wilson like back now? Is he like?
Dude, Frank Wilson was once a very hot coaching candidate at UTSA, man.
At Ole Miss, remember
yes, he was on the Ole Miss
coming to Ole Miss. Yeah,
Frank Wilson's a ball coach, and he's
Louisiana
Frank Wilson through and through.
And he knows how to recruit too.
I'm just saying, I could see them giving Alabama a little bit of some of a pain in the butt this weekend. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're still taking Bama.
Fine. Just so I can get Ole Miss to number 4. Alabama's losing to LSU this weekend.
This is your Wake Forest over Virginia just for the vibes?
Yeah, just for the vibes. That's what you did. I mean,
no doubt.
Virginia's going to beat Wake Forest and Alabama's going to beat LSU, but no. I'm riding with my guy Frank. You go to anybody in New Orleans, buddy, I'll call 40. Kentrell Lockett. He's going to be on our show next week for Florida week. He has to be. So it'll be 40. But like he would tell you right now, Frank, you go to New Orleans. He's a legend, man. And now that he's the interim.
No doubt.
This man right here, he's going to have him juiced because like LSU means something to Frank Wilson. And that man will have it. Like while Brian Kelly was saying his family, Frank Wilson's lived that life his entire life. He's Louisiana through and through. He's the reason why Ole Miss, God rest his soul, almost landed Joe McKnight.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny about all the Brian Kelly stuff? Like all the things I was saying about just not a good person. I don't like the way he does all this. All the stuff coming out about him. I mean, we already knew, like the whole Notre Dame, the tragic incident, all those different things. But we knew this guy was an asshole. It's not like
been nobody coming really to his defense. And that's what's really
not only are people not coming to his defense, people are coming out and telling stories that I was 100% like, of course, all of this is true.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how this man was coaching high-level college football for that long and just that terrible at cultivating and building relationships. Truly remarkable. Our final game, Navy at number 10, Notre Dame. Our boy Eli Heidenreich and Blake Horvath, man, going up against the mighty Fighting Irish.
Notre Dame, they're going to make the playoff.
It's a rivalry game.
I mean, get mad about it, kick and scream, throw a fit. It's happening. Notre Dame, 2-loss Notre Dame is going to make the playoff.
This is unbelievable.
Is it? Dumb. It's the most predictable.
No, it is predictable. That's what I'm saying. I hate that they just get a pass. We always give Notre Dame a pass.
That's why the smartest thing Notre Dame ever did was say, of course we're never joining a conference.
It's bad for college football. It's bad for college football because
it
gives someone who deserves that spot, who's a better team, who's a better story, who wouldn't think of a Louisville I think a Louisville's got a way better case to get in.
I do too, but like Louisville's getting in right now. That's not changing. Who would they?
I don't know. I think
who would Notre Dame would be taking Virginia's spot.
Everyone has Virginia above Louisville right now because their lone ACC loss wasn't technically a conference game or something like that. And whoever wins the ACC is going to probably end up getting that spot. It's going to be interesting for the ACC. We've seen in recent years that the playoff committee has really downgraded their status.
They don't care about the ACC, dude.
That's bad, dude. Navy Notre.
They care about Notre Dame though, Sue.
Well, Ben, as
always and forever, Fighting Irish, they're going to get a spot.
As someone who supports our service academies and those in uniform, I am taking the Navy midshipmen.
Are you calling me un-American because I picked the Fighting Irish?
Yeah, Ben, you're not a true patriot is what I'm hearing, man.
First of all, my Papa Troy, God rest his soul.
Shout out Papa Troy. What would Papa Troy say right now?
Listen to me. Papa Troy was married to the grandmother. I sent you the picture of me in the bunny outfit to bring this all home.
She was precious, by the way.
That's big. That's my big mama. Her husband, my big papa. His name was Troy. He served in the Navy in the Korean War. We don't even go to war anymore. We just drone strike even people that didn't do anything. And now I look at that and say, you know what? For Papa, I love you. I miss you every single day. I missed you every single day since you left me when I was 7 years old. And I'll simply say, Papa, the Irish are about to put belt to that ass.
Anchors away, baby. Anchors away.
No, Papa. He'd be like, man, you're probably right. He just want to be in his garden out, out there.
Is this Papa that got you made you become a Cowboys fan, or?
No, that was my Uncle Rick, his son, Rick, my dad's brother, and Uncle Rick, who doesn't even care about any sports really anymore. When I was 3 years old or something, I just remember him. I don't remember how old I was, but I was watching on the TV the Washington Commanders, the Commanders, and the Dallas Cowboys. Said, Uncle Rick, I kind of like the Redskins too. And he said, if you're going to be like he muted the TV, you couldn't pause it at the time. He muted it. He'd like to stop the game. If you're going to be a Cowboys fan, you have to hate the Redskins. So ever since then, I just like, it's just the Cowboys and nobody. And I've tried to quit them. I really have, Sue. You know this.
Oh, I know.
I've tried.
The
Vikings kind of have my ear a little.
The Vikings.
Yeah, because they hadn't won shit. I'm not going to go be a Chiefs fan.
Can't pick a team. Yeah, listen, I can relate though, because the only reason I was a Giants fan, I will say my first Giants game or NFL game I ever watched on television featured the Giants. Michael Strahan was a monster. Obviously, we all know it was Eli though. At the end of the day, wherever Eli was going to go is who I was going to support. Yep. But that was my real reason for fandom. And a lot of people I know, a lot of Ole Miss fans, a lot of fans of Eli, when he retired, they just stopped caring. They moved on, got different teams
until Jackson came.
But I just,
Eli's son dressed up as Jackson for Halloween. I mean, dude, like Ole Miss people, that's you want to know why the Giants are Ole Miss? I mean, that's Ole Miss people's team.
It is, man.
And for me, and yet for me, and because of my Uncle Rick and how I was raised, all I could think was like, all of my favorite people, Eli Manning plays for one of the teams I hate the most. A.J. Brown goes to the freaking Eagles.
I can't. Yeah, that one hurts still.
No, dude, I could keep going. Laramie Tunsil was on those dreaded Washington, those miserable, awful Washington Commanders, formerly Redskins. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me started. Meanwhile, Ole Miss gets Sam Williams, Jonathan Mingo for a fourth, and Mingo was great to cover. 1,000-yard receiver at Ole Miss. Sam Williams had Buku Saxon's senior year, became a second-rounder, not doing a good job replacing Micah Parsons. I'm just simply saying it would have been nice. Tony Romo was awesome. But give me Eli with a star on his helmet. Anybody, God.
No.
Anybody.
Nope.
Anybody like that I can just latch onto for 10 years. I will defend Dak till I die. I'm the biggest Dak defender. And you know how hard that is for Spirit Ben? Or it used to be. Now it's just like, I was rooting for State to win a game. Yes, Dak's my dude. And y'all got Eli. And now Jackson. It's not fair.
Well, my point was I try to quit the Giants too, and I don't even have as deep of a story as you, but can't do it. When I pick a team, that's my team, man.
That's your team.
There's no more. I just can't do it. I just
that's
have that.
What it is.
That affection for them.
All right, so what am I putting up here for next week? It's leaves,
a cornucopia, a couple turkeys.
I'm gonna get some stupid.
Get some construction paper, maybe a pilgrim or something. I don't know.
Get the girls to make me a nice little border.
There you go. That'd actually be great to showcase the Garrett daughters' art.
Because it's actually pretty cool stuff up here that I have, including this picture from my favorite Halloween where we went dressed as Harry Potter characters. There's Ben as Hagrid.
Are you Hagrid?
Yes, I am. There's my beautiful wife as Professor McGonagall. Little Gracie as Hermione Granger or Gryffindor. And then sweet Buggy Riley's, who is Grony now. There she is back there now. Dressed as Dobby the house elf. She's wearing a pillowcase and elf ears.
That is elite. Let me tell you, that is elite. All right, before we go, you got anything else to say? We got anything we didn't touch on today? Or
yes, God is good. Football is awesome, and what a fun experience it is every single week sitting and talking to my guy Sue. So I'm thankful for it. I give all the glory to God because man, this is the most fun thing I do work-wise every single week because Sue just gets on here and lets me run my mouth. And the fact that some people actually enjoy it is both hilarious and encouraging and fun. And I want y'all as engaged as you can be. I want to start doing more live shows. I want to get guests. I want this to become whatever it wants to become because it's just been a joyful, fun fellowship, blessed by God. So keep it real this week, Sue. Try to guard yourself against all the Lane noise because it's the Citadel. All they're going to be talking about is Lane going to Florida, setting up Florida, Florida Lane week next week, the circus that will be. What if game day comes just because of that? Don't say it's not crazy. Don't say it's crazy. I don't know what the schedule looks like next week.
I was going to say, let me see.
Dude, you remember they went to set up, ESPN went and set up at New York Jets preseason camp for Tim Tebow, okay?
Oh, yeah.
when they get obsessed with something, they still lead everything with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have one of the historically worst defenses in league history. They're not going anywhere this year, and they lead the A block, it seems like, every single day.
Oklahoma, Alabama is that weekend. Texas, Georgia could be the game day game. Florida, Ole Miss.
Come on, tell me I'm crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Tell me I'm crazy. The Lane Kiffin Bowl. Get Feinbaum and Lane to do a spot right before. I mean, dude, it writes itself. I've got content brain. I'm broken in that way. This week, it's the Citadel. But fortunately, on Game Runs Deep, we talk about more than just Ole Miss. I just write for the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, and Flip on 3. Sign up today for $1. So I have to get my plugs in. But other than that, man, I just love doing it with you. Thank you for let me come on here and have the opportunity to just talk till I get hoarse.
Absolutely,
it ruins my singing voice on Sunday for choir. You know, my choir director, Brother Don, did not like it that my voice was crackly. I said, well, buddy, number one, Gracie had her first JV soccer game the other day. They won 2-1 at Starkville, and she defended her ass off. So I yelled at that. We had the best cheering section. And then also I talk for a living, including an hour and a half every Monday when I think it'd only be like –
I was going to say, this is one of like 4 podcasts you do a week. So,
5, actually.
5 podcasts. 5. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that one away from you. And hopefully I did a good enough job today of not talking over Ben with my unfunny one-liners.
Now I've done all the talking over you. I paid you back tenfold, even though I've never had that criticism.
The guy
I've never been the one that was being interrupted. I promise you, I've never heard that. That's hilarious.
The guy that said it, I think his YouTube name is like Rebel Dave or something. I'm totally messing with you, man. Like I'm not actually upset. But
he says an hour and 48 minutes later.
Well, I had to keep the bit going, but I did text Ben and I go, Ben, I made it. Like you made me happy because you made me feel like, oh my God, I'm stealing the light from Ben. I'm talking over him. Like it was crazy.
Like me,
you know,
like Sinu's the only one that's worth the shit in this conversation anyway. So
No, stop it. That's not even.
God is good and Game Run Deep is weekly, baby. Fire me up.
See you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.